Okay, we got a new camera. There we go. Focus. There we go. All right, hello everybody and welcome to episode 4 of the Knit California podcast. I'm Leslie, also known as Knit California on Instagram, on Ravelry, here on YouTube. I have changed my background and I got a new camera, so I'm not filming this on my phone or my iPad. So if you see me looking over here, it's because that's where the viewfinder is. And I just figured out, man, I took a DSLR camera class back in 2013, 2014, and I forgot how to change it from manual mode to autofocus. And my husband and I are sharing this camera. He wants to try to use it to take astral space photography, which he'll use manual mode for. So anyways, I just figured it out. So yes, we are in front of my yarn stash. Ooh. I thought it would just be a more fun background. The only kind of thing is it's right in front of the window, so I'm hoping this isn't going to be too bright. I think the autofocus is going to help keep everything in a good light. So yeah, just over here you can see my big stack of crocheted blankets as well as some other knits on top. My goal within the next couple of weeks is to wash all of my sweaters that I've made and put them away for the summer, since I am definitely not going to be wearing them anymore. It's 90, oh, my watch only says it's 88 degrees today, but I was just in Las Vegas for half a week and it was well into the 100s. It was up to 115 I think one day. So it was hot, and then as we're driving back here this morning, it said it was in the high 90s, so it's hot here now. And there's also, it's really windy, so I don't think you'll be able to hear the wind, but it is kind of shaking the house a little bit and rattling the window. So if you do hear anything like that, that's what the wind is. That's what it is. It's the wind. I'm also not wearing a hand knit today. I was really hoping to have a finished object, but I didn't quite make it. It'll definitely be done in 2 weeks for the next podcast. But since it is really hot and I didn't want to turn the fan on because you could hear it, so I'm not wearing anything today. But I did get this cute new shirt. It's got a little sun on it. This actually really reminds me of the sun character from Rummikub, if you've ever played Rummikub. My grandma and I used to play that game a lot with my brother. So anyways, okay. I don't have too much to show you today that's different from 2 weeks ago. I've got a couple, there's 2 main projects that I want to show you, and then I've got a couple yarn acquisitions that I got that I want to show you. So this will probably be a little bit shorter of an episode, which is totally fine. My last couple ones were long. So anyways, let's get into it. All right. The first one I'm going to show you is, I'm pretty sure, a new cast on since the last episode. I think I had swatched for this, but I had not cast on yet. And this is actually the one that I was hoping to have finished by this episode, but we didn't quite make it there. So let me show you. Da, da, da. It's a tank top. So this pattern is called the Thea tank, T-H-E-A, sorry, Thea top. And it's by Paula M. Strict on Instagram. I believe she's German, but this is made out of the Sandnes Garn Line. This yarn that I talked about on the last episode. Let's see if I can get it. Now I've got to be one of those people that does this and gets it to focus. There we go. So this is the cotton viscose linen blend yarn. It's in this like beigey colorway. And I am loving using this yarn. It's like soft. It's softer than like a full cotton yarn. I guess what I've been like trying to compare it to is the We Are Knitters cotton yarn, and this is 100% Pima cotton, which like when you feel it like this, it feels soft. But I remember working with it for a t-shirt that I made like a year ago, and as I was knitting with it, like I'm pretty sure I got like a callus or like was starting to wear down my finger right here. And that is not happening with this yarn. So I don't know, something to think about. Put that back there. So yeah, again, I'm really like happy with how this is turning out. I haven't tried it on yet, but I mean, it looks like it's gonna fit. And the construction of this was super cool. It is a paid for pattern, but basically you start with like the back panel. I think a lot of like t-shirts, v-necks are knit with this construction. So you start with like the back panel, it's kind of like a rectangle here, and then you pick up like for the little straps, which these straps are thicker than I thought they would be, which I think is going to be really nice because I'll definitely be able to wear a bra underneath this and like it won't show through at all, pop out of the sleeves. So I think that's great. So you knit all the way, you pick up one side, right? And so you start here and you'll knit all of this, then you'll do the other side, and then you meet in the middle, and then you go down. There were some, cool armhole increases in the back and on the front so that you have this like nice arm shaping detail. And so once I finish this, I'll show you. I'm actually not using a row counter for this project, and I wish I was because I have to knit like 70 something rows from like the last instruction, and so I'm using my little markers to count out increments of 10, which the row counter would have been really helpful for, but I didn't want to pull it off of my other project. And the new one that I got is meant for a smaller needle size. So I really just need to order myself a couple more for larger needle sizes. So you can see that I've got one more round to go and then like a few extra rounds to get to the right number. I'll do the ribbing. I'll do the neck line. There's like a neck ribbing to bring this all together, make it look nice. There's some armhole ribbing to make the arms look finished, and then it'll be done. And I'm so excited. This is my first summer top of the season, and I just like honestly can't wait to make more. I'm really enjoying this. It's going really fast. It's only been 2 weeks, I think, since I cast this on, and I'm almost done, which for me is really fast. Some people take a lot longer to make garments, a garment of this size. Some people take a lot less time. Whenever I post, my progress, inevitably I get comments of, you do that so fast, and like sometimes like, yeah, this is going fast, but sometimes to me it feels a lot slower compared to other people. So if you think that I'm going fast, don't worry, like knit on your own time, on your own schedule. It's not a competition, knitting is supposed to be for you and for your own enjoyment. So, but tank tops, yes, are a lot quicker to knit because you don't have to do sleeves. So, pro tip. But this is number one. Once I finish this, so on the next podcast, I'll definitely give recommendations. So like if I would recommend this yarn, this pattern, with how it's going right now, the answer to both of those is yes, but we'll see once it's all finished. So that's number one. Okay, and number two, I've also made some progress on, oh, there's a third thing I need to show you I forgot about. But let's go back to one that you have seen before. Definitely looks a lot different than what it looked like last time on the podcast. And this is my granny squares. Dun, dun, dun. They're all done, they're blocked, and they're seamed together. And this is going to be a cardigan. I'm a little worried. I think I should have made a bigger size. So this is the size 3. And I picked this size with a lot less positive ease for my chest size than the pattern recommended. I probably should have gone up to a size 4. So it's definitely going to be like a little short on my torso. But I just, you know, if I have any yarn left over, I can lengthen it, or I can get another skein to lengthen it. I don't think that's going to be a big issue. And I did try it on. The armholes are a little tight, so I might just rip back the seam a little bit here to allow for a little bit more room in the armholes. But this is going really well. I think for me, the seaming of all these granny squares was not hard. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than it did. I think I did all of this in like a day, and not even a full day. It was like an evening, because like the yarn, it's like a thicker weight yarn, so it wasn't like a whole lot of stitches to like seam it all together. And it was a crochet bind. So you're doing a single crochet to bind it all together instead of like seaming with a tapestry needle, which I think the crochet bind is a little bit easier, at least for me. So yeah, that's where we are. Here's the back. It's so cute. I love it so much. So the next part is to pick up the armholes. So, okay, this is the cool thing about this project, is that this is all crochet. And now I'm gonna pick up the armholes with my knitting needles and knit the sleeves. So it's a combined crochet and knitting project, which I love. I think that's so cool. I think if you're someone who knows how to do one but not the other, like this might be a cool pattern to learn on. But we are at the point where we need to pick up stitches for the sleeves, and as you may know, this is my least favorite part of any project. I just find it, I don't know why I find it intimidating. Like, I've done it so much before, like I know how to do it. It's just kind of difficult. But now that I'm looking at it, like there are distinct stitches where your needle is going to go to pick up your knit stitches. Like you can see all of the single crochets. So this shouldn't actually be too difficult. I think the hardest part for me is just really seeing where the stitches are that you're supposed to pick up, especially when you're knitting, like the bottom where the stitches aren't all in the same direction. I don't know, it's just harder for me to like visualize and like see with my eyes like where the holes are that I'm supposed to pick up through. So I don't know, that's where that comes from. But to be honest, I haven't worked on this a whole lot this week just because I've been really trying to finish my Thea top because it's been going so fast. I'm just like, I want to get this done. I want to wear it. I want to try it out. I really want to start, you know, knitting with more like summer yarns. I would love to like get this yarn in a different color and knit more things. I would honestly, if this turns out really good, like I think it's going to, I would love to make another one. So anyways, this has been my main focus, but I needed to get this progress to this point for the podcast, but like also for myself, just to like set goals with my knitting for like where I want to be every month or so. So I've been watching Nitty Natty podcast. She came up as a podcast recommendation for me, and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. Natalie, if you're watching, hey, I'm obsessed. She is knitting through her entire stash this year, And I've been watching her videos of like her stash organization videos of how she's gone from, you know, I assume she had a stash like this, you know, like this, a few years ago. She's been knitting for longer than I have, but at the beginning of this year she had about like 80 to 90 skeins in January, and I think she's down right now to like somewhere in the 30s, which it's just like really interesting to watch how she's picking patterns for the yarn in her stash, how she is organizing her knitting time. So she has a bunch of videos showing like every month she sits down with like all of her active projects and she's like, okay, these are the active projects I have. This is where I want to get to at the end of the month. Like these are the ones I want to finish, and like breaks it down into like goals for each week. And then like from there each day of like how much knitting she needs to get done. And I thought about trying to do that, but I think it's a lot for where I am now, but it was definitely like really inspiring for me and just like made me think about my own knitting goals. And so especially when I'm close to like a big milestone in a project, like seaming all of this together was like a big milestone, right? This is like a great like stopping point. You can do this, you can put it down, and it's fine. The next kind of part to this would be like picking up the stitches and knitting a sleeve, right? That would be one other milestone, and then the second sleeve, and then all the finishing, that kind of thing. So that was one milestone that I wanted to finish. That was like last week. So that's where we are with that, and that's a podcast recommendation for you also. If you haven't checked out Nitty Natty, I would definitely recommend. Okay, one more work in progress that I want to show you that I forgot about, but I have picked up socks again. So there's a whole story to this, but let me show you. I'm doing a cuff down. Put it right there. It's got some weird color pooling going on where like this side is kind of all the same, and then like this side it looks stripy. I don't know. I probably should have made the size large. I've cast it on the size medium, but this is the I'm So Basic sock by Summer Lee. I think Summer Lee knits. Summer Lee socks. Summer Lee. I should have looked that up, I'm not sure. And the yarn that I'm using is a sock set from Sorella yarn. This was from the Little Mermaid collection. It's called The Wedding, and it's this gorgeous pinks with whites and like tiny little like purple speckles that pop up sometimes. So okay, the story on this is that maybe a year ago, a little bit less, was when I first tried to make socks. And I used this same yarn. It's a fingering weight yarn, so it's like, it's the, you know, merino nylon blend sock yarn. And it was going really well. I posted it a bunch on Instagram. I think it's like at the very beginning of my Instagram, so you'd have to like go all the way back to see any progress. But like I made it to, I was on the foot, and I eventually decided to frog it because I was not happy with how it was turning out. And I put down socks for a while, and then let's see, in like October or November, I picked up socks again, but I started with like a worsted weight yarn. And so I did make 2 pairs of the Ozetta comfort socks, and I really enjoyed making those. I think they're really cute. I did make them a size 2 large, which is probably why I like psyched myself into making this one a size medium, even though it's a completely different pattern, but whatever, that's okay. And yeah, I've just like, this is, I had also, sorry, getting my thoughts. I had also tried to make a fingering weight pair of socks in this yarn back in February of this year, and this yarn is gorgeous, but the fingering weight socks just like weren't working out for me. I was trying to do a magic loop. I think I was using like a size 2 US 2 needle, which I think was too big also. So what I did was I finally like just bought a 9-inch circular needle, US size 1. So these are 2.25 millimeters, and I'm doing pretty good. I figured out with knitting sleeves that I enjoy having like a continuous circular needle instead of doing magic loop. Magic loop just like takes me a lot longer. I like take a lot more pauses because, you know, once you get to the end of the row, it's like, oh, this is a great stopping point. Whereas with the circular needle, I just kind of keep going. So it's like quicker for me. And with the magic loop, I was also, it was laddering, so there was like a hole, or like the stitches were wider, there were like gaps where that change in the needle was, and so that was happening on both sides. And that was ultimately the reason why I frogged the first pair, was they just like weren't looking right, and they were holy, and I just didn't think that blocking was gonna fix it. And I think I had just left them on the needles for too long and wasn't working on them. So I'm at the point now. I'm also thinking that, like, since I made 2 pairs of the worsted weight socks, I liked those, but I'm thinking I want the leg just to be a little shorter. So I think I'm gonna stop here and make these, like, they're not really shorty socks, but they're not like full length socks. I think this is like 3 inches total. So I'm gonna do the heel now, and then I'll do the foot. And I think that'll just like go a lot faster. Also, you know, not having to knit another like 3 or 4 inches here. But yeah, I have this whole cubby, this one down here that you can like kind of see, is all full of sock yarn that I really, really love, and I just like want to have socks with this yarn. Let me show you a couple of my favorites. There's like too many. There's way too many, but here's just a few. I'll just hold these up. So like, look, this is like Tweedy, but it's like dark and moody. I don't even know if we have good light right now. Hold on, okay. Tweedy and like dark and moody. This is from Long Dog yarn. This one's also from Long Dog. This was Frosted Window Pane. Oh, this is just so gorgeous. Like blues, light pinks, purples, and speckles. And this skein is mohair sock. So it's 55% merino, 25% nylon, and 20% mohair. So it's like really soft. These are like a fade from Suzanne Bryan yarn. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Shirley Bryan yarns. And I just think these are gonna be really cool. I have this A Court of Thorns and Roses sock set that's supposed to be like spring court themed, which, like, we know the spring court has issues in the books, but I'm a Taurus, so like I really think if you know, we got to the point where like the spring court was kind of like what we all imagine it has the potential to be, you know, we would all love it. And so this is really pretty. I liked that. This one that I showed you last time that I just got from Sorella yarn with all the speckles. So anyways, now this has just turned into a tour of all my sock yarns, but there's even more in here. I have all of my Akatar A Court of Thorns and Roses yarn from Red Door Fiber, the like Resand and Azrael colorways that I loved. So anyways, all of that to say that I just really want to start knitting more socks. So, and I was inspired by summer sock camp that the Crazy Sock Lady is hosting right now. I'm not really participating in the knit along, but like just knowing that like a lot of people are making socks right now, and we're into the summer months, I think that is traditionally like a time when people knit socks. So that also inspired me to like cast these on. And when I posted about it on Instagram, there were so many people that were like cheering me on in the comments of my post, just like, you can do it, like you got this. So that was really nice. There were also a lot of people, I shouldn't be surprised like this, like knitters, we're all very opinionated with the tools that we like to use. And there were so many people that were like, oh, I love 9-inch circulars, like you're gonna do great. And there were other people that were like, I hate 9-inch circulars, you should use Magic Loop. And I was like, I already tried Magic Loop, but thank you. So I love it. I mean, I don't mind getting those types of suggestions on Instagram. I like to look at them. Some of them I will listen to, some of them I won't. But especially if you're like new, like I was new to sock knitting, just like, you know, posting a question box and getting people's responses on like what patterns are good that you can start with, or like what type of tools do people like to use. I really enjoy getting feedback from that. So anyways, there's FO number 3. Sorry, I did that last time. This is work in progress number 3. It's not a finished object. So the other thing, so my sweater number 15, I'm still working on. There's not much progress there. I kind of put that on the back burner for the last couple weeks just because it is getting hotter. And like I said, I wanted to focus on the tank top. My moonset tee, I have not made much progress on. I don't know, that one's just kind of always on the back burner, but I wanted to share with you some yarn acquisitions. Let me just grab them all. You can already see what it is. Alright. So these are all from the same yarn dyer. But I'll show you this one first. Look at that. Yeah, there we go. This really works. So this is a hot pink colorway from Silly Goose Yarns. The color is called Bubblegum. And this is on her plump fingering base, which is 75% merino and 25% nylon. It's 100 gram skein with 463 yards in it, so that's a lot of yardage. So what happened was, the story behind this is I bought this one skein when she first launched. So Courtney is a newer yarn dyer in the Minneapolis, I believe, Minneapolis area. And when she like first launched her very first store opening, I bought this one skein of yarn, and I only bought one. And I was like, why did I only buy one? That was so dumb of me. And it was sitting up here for like weeks, and I was just staring at it like, I'm obsessed with that color. I love it. It's hot pink. I love it so much. And so then I messaged her and I was like, I'm gonna need more of that hot pink. Okay, we hit our automatic time limit for recording on this camera, but that's okay. Okay, anyways, so I reached out to Courtney and I was like, I'm definitely gonna need more of this. And she was like, well, there's a form on my website that you can fill out and I will dye a full set of sweaters quantity for you. And I was like, thank you very much. So now I have 6 skeins plus this one, which is 7. However, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but There are definitely different dye lots, you can definitely tell. So I don't know if I'll be able to use this one in the same sweater that I make with these. I might be able to like work it into like the neckband or like the cuffs, the ribbing. I'm so sorry, I just flipped everyone off. I did not mean to do that. I was pointing with the wrong finger. I feel like if you have a skein of yarn that's like a slightly different shade, but like it's the same colorway, working it into like the ribbing is like probably the way to go. Or I just, again, keep this one separate and it goes in my, this cubby down here is the skeins with no sweater, no pattern picked out, and it's not enough for like a full sweater, which will eventually be used for like color work or something, probably. But anyways, I'm obsessed. So my thought is that I probably want to hold this double for like a DK weight sweater, but I haven't picked one out yet. I think I want to keep it more simple of a sweater. I'm not sure I want anything that's like fully lace or anything, but I haven't decided yet. So if you have any suggestions, what kind of sweater would you make with hot pink yarn? It is merino and nylon, so this, you know, definitely wouldn't be like a summer sweater, but yeah, let me know. Okay, so that's the first one, and then I also got, okay, so the second one that I got is also from Silly Goose Yarns, Courtney. Look at this. I feel like I need to take the ball bands off so you can like fully appreciate this yarn. It's gorgeous. It's like mostly this pinky color, but there are like some undyed bits with speckles, and they're like green, blue. There's yellow speckles on here. I just love it. So this colorway is called Bands Off Our Bodies. This is a plump fingering as well, so it's the 75-25 merino nylon. And this was a mystery yarn that Courtney created, and some of the proceeds from the sales went to Whole Women's Health, which is an organization that provides all types of support to people who are pregnant and who are looking for options, health screening, birth control, and more. So it was a great cause that I really wanted to donate to, and getting these two skeins of yarn like was a great great part of it. So I was worried, like I'm not usually someone that buys mystery yarn. Like I don't take part a lot in like monthly clubs where like you see the inspiration photo and then you get the yarn in the mail, but you don't really know what the yarn's gonna look like. That isn't really my type of thing. So I really wanted to donate to this, and I, you know, wasn't too worried about what the color was gonna look like because I thought donating to this cause was like more important than like what the yarn actually looked like. But when I opened the package, I was blown away. I just think it's so beautiful. So I have two skeins, that's all I have. So I think this will be enough for like a tank top or a short sleeve shirt. Maybe like a Jessie May ripple top, crop top, or one of her tank tops. I haven't fully decided, but that's my thought, is like a Jessie May tank or shirt pattern. So excited. And that's it. So coming up this week, these next 2 weeks, definitely finishing the Thea top. I gotta do the heel of my sock. Hopefully I can do the heel and like finish one sock before next podcast. Ooh, that'd be fun. And then maybe one sleeve on my Corinne Cardi. That might be like a good goal to set for myself. I have a bunch of things that I want to cast on, as always. There's like This is like my summer yarn drawer cabinet. There's a bunch of stuff in there that I want to cast on. Laura Penrose from Penrose Knits, her summer souffle was just released, and I'm itching to cast that on. I'm thinking, I was trying to decide between the We Are Knitters, the cotton in this really pretty pink color, and let's see, Kobu. This is Lion Brand Yarn Kobu in blue. I have a ton of Kobu, and I don't think I have enough yarn in the cotton to do the summer souffle in the size that I want to make. But I think I do have enough yarn of this blue Kobu. And I think this blue would be really fun. It's kind of like blue ocean, blue sky, summer themed. So this is what I'm thinking. So we might see this cast on in next episode. Maybe, we'll see. We'll see. So that, we put these all away. All right, that's where we're at. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will have all the links, names of patterns, designers, yarn, everything in the description below. I will also have links to my Amazon affiliate, so if you're looking for any tool recommendation, knitting needles, blocking tools, crochet hooks, any of those sorts of things, my recommendations are in my Amazon storefront link. As well as my affiliate link to Twice Tiered Sheep if you're looking for row counters, cable needles, stitch markers, anything of that sort. You can check out Twice Tiered Sheep. I love them, I love their products, and that is why I'm an affiliate member with them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye!